Good morning students. Welcome to the third video lesson of Social Studies class 5. We will complete chapter number 1 today. The topic is maps, grid lines. We will cover the information given on page number 3 and 4. Students having old print will find this information on page number 7 and 8. The time duration of today's lesson is 35 minutes and the resources required are Smart Social Studies Book 5, Notebook and pencils. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to discuss what coordinates are, identify the value of coordinate system in general, understand the intersection of coordinates to locate places on the maps. Locate places on the maps given in the textbook using grid references. Understand the Global Positioning System (GPS) and discuss its uses. Now before we start our lesson, let's recall a few basic facts which we have already studied. What are latitudes? The imaginary lines running from east to west. What are the lines of longitude? The vertical lines that run up and down on the map are the lines of longitude. What is equator? An imaginary line that divides the earth into northern and southern hemispheres. What is prime meridian? Prime meridian is the line of longitude that divides the earth into eastern and western hemispheres. What is the difference between equator and prime meridian? Equator divides the earth into northern and southern hemispheres. However, prime meridian divides the earth into eastern and western hemispheres. Now let's recall all important lines of longitude and latitudes. Open your books at page number 4. Students having old print will find this question on page number 10 and quickly label the important imaginary lines. Your time starts now. You have 5 minutes to complete this task. So let's see whether you were right or not. 0 degree latitude. Yes, it's the equator. 0 degree longitude. Yes, it's prime meridian. 66.5 degree north. And this is line of latitude. It's Arctic Circle. 66.5 south, Antarctic Circle. 23.5 Tropic of Cancer and 23.5 south, Tropic of Capricorn. What are coordinates? Latitude and longitude are two coordinates that are used to plot specific locations on the earth. The coordinates refer to the angles which are measured in degrees. We have studied all these in detail. It's just to review so that it's easy for us to recall and then apply all these concepts when we are doing the exercises. Now why coordinate system? Why we need to have coordinate system? A geographical coordinate system enables every location on the earth to be specified by a set of numbers or letters which help us to find any place in the world. Without having this coordinate system, we cannot find or we cannot locate different places on the earth because the earth is very vast and without having any specific location, we cannot reach the places which we have never visited. Now let's watch this video to understand the use of grid system. or the coordinates to find locations.
Okay, so if you are needing more practice with absolute location, here are some examples to remind you how to work with latitude and longitude. So the first thing I want to do when I work with latitude and longitude is remember that my latitude lines are the lines that go across the globe horizontally, and the longitude lines are the lines that go up and down on the globe vertically. So my latitude lines, when I look for my latitude lines, I want to find first the equator, which should be in the middle if I'm looking at a whole map of the world, and that's my 0 degrees latitude. Latitude will measure how far north I go if I go up from the equator, or how far south I go if I go down from the equator. For my longitude, I want to find the prime meridian, which again, if we're looking at a map of the entire globe, will be in the middle, and that's my 0 degrees longitude. For my prime meridian, starting there, I'll measure east with my longitude lines, or I'll measure west with my longitude lines. So for a few examples, if I'm looking for 40 degrees north and 100 degrees west, and I want to know what continent it is on, I start by finding the equator. The latitude is always measured first. So from the equator, I'm going north. I know I need to go up. So I'm going to go up, and I see that we have 20 degrees north and 40 degrees north. So I'm going to measure this line 40 degrees north all the way across. Then I can look for my longitude. My longitude is 100 degrees west. So I start with my prime meridian, which is 0 degrees. I'm going west, so I know I need to go to the left. If I forget my directions, I can always look at my compass rose. I go to the left, and I see 20 degrees west, 40, 60, 80, and 100. So I can follow that line 100 degrees west. Take note on this globe, that line curves. So I want to make sure I follow it down along the curve to where it meets with 40 degrees north. And I'm right here in North America. So for that one, we can put North America. For my second example, I have 30 degrees south and 130 degrees east. Again, it's latitude first, so I can go to my equator. This time I'm going south, so I know that I need to count down. So I have 20 degrees south, 40 degrees south, and 60 degrees south. 30 is not marked and labeled for me on this map, so I know that I need to estimate where it would be. So I have 20 and 40, 40 and 60. I know that 30 comes between 20 and 40, so I can go halfway, and I'll make a little mark to make sure I know where I am on my map. So imagine that I have a line going across here between 20 and 40. That would be my 30 degrees south below the equator. For my longitude, I have 130 degrees east. I have 0 in the middle again, looking for my prime meridian. Going east, I know I need to go to the right, so I count over 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, and 140. Again, 130 is not marked on this map, so I have to estimate. 130 would come between 120 and 140, so I can estimate about halfway in between. Again, these lines are curved, the longitude lines, so when I see that, I know I need to follow that same pattern and estimate in between. And then if I follow my estimated latitude line, I know I should cross in Australia. So for my second answer, I have Australia. Now, if I reverse the problem and I give you a location and I want you to tell me the latitude and longitude, the first thing I need to do is make sure I found the location. So for these, I just gave continents. It could be something more precise like a city, but we'll start with continents. So here we have Africa. So I find on my map Africa, which we know is this continent here. And I can pick anywhere on this continent that I want to find a location for. So I'm going to pick right here where I have two lines that intersect. So where I've got my dot, where those lines intersect, I just need to follow the lines to see where the measurements are on my globe. So I know I need to look for my latitude first, because again, I always write latitude first and then longitude second. So if I follow this line over, I can see that it's marked 20 degrees north. So I'm going to mark 20 degrees north for my latitude. Now for the second one, I need to find my longitude. So again, I can know I'm looking for my longitude line, which is my up and down line. And I can follow the line either direction to find the measurement for this line, and I go all the way up. And it says 20 degrees east. So we're doing 20 degrees east. Now, if it had not told me the directions, for example, if it just said 20 degrees, I could still look at my map and know that I'm on the right side of my prime meridian, so it must be east, and I'm above my equator, so it must be north. So that's how I would know my directions if it's not marked on the map. For Asia, we'll challenge ourselves a little bit, and let's pick a location that is not directly where lines intersect, but in between. So we'll choose this location here on the continent Asia. So again, I'm looking to see how far above the equator I am. So I've got my equator here in the middle, and I'm going up. I've got 20 degrees, 40 degrees, and 60 degrees. My dot's about halfway between 40 and 60, so I can estimate 50 degrees north. Now I did put the dot on a line for longitude, so I can follow the line again up and down and find the measurement. And if I follow it up, I see that it's labeled 100 degrees east. So things to remember now that we've gotten our coordinates and we found continents. Make sure that each time you're looking for a location, you start by finding the equator or finding the prime meridian and then measure from there. Double check your compass rose to be sure you are going the correct direction. If you're going north, you're going up. If you're going south, you're going down. And if you're going west, you're going left. And if you're going east, you're going right. And then the last thing to be careful is to make sure that if we're estimating in between lines of latitude and longitude, that we're putting that estimation in the correct place.
So I hope that finding the intersection of longitude and latitude for the given addresses, it's really very clear to everybody. And now let's do question number 1 together. You will find this question on page number 5 of your book, and students having the old print, they might not find this question in this form, though the question is there also, but you will not find this map. So no need to worry about it. You just go to Google Classroom and you will find this exercise. It's there in the Google Classroom. You can get a print from there, or maybe like if you don't have a printer, then you can easily find you can find out the locations, the places, the continents and oceans, and then you can write in your notebooks. So let's do this question together. And the first you can say the address. Let's see that. What is it? What continent is 40 degree north and 20 degree east? Now, as you know, we had seen in the video that first of all, whenever we are finding any location on using the grid references, we always find the latitude first. So for finding the latitude, we need to see where is the equator. So this is 0 degree latitude. This is the equator, line of equator. And when we are going to find the longitude line, then we will see this 0 degree longitude line, that is the prime meridian, right? So these two lines which are blinking, this is equator, which divides the earth into northern, this is whole northern hemisphere, and southern hemisphere, this is all southern hemisphere. And this is prime meridian, it divides the earth into eastern hemisphere, this is all eastern hemisphere, and western hemisphere. So whenever we are finding the location, if the address is the longitude is in north, then we will check these lines which are given here on the top. And if the latitude is south, then we are going to look for the degrees here. And the same way, when we are going to find the second part of the address, the longitude lines, then for east we will go to the right hand side, and for west we will go to the left hand side. So first of all, let's see, this is 0 degree equator, and we need to go to 40 degree north. So this is 20 degree north and this is 40 degree north. So this line we need to see, whatever location we are going to find, it is somewhere on this line, right? This is 40 degree north. Now let's see what is the longitude. The longitude is 20 degree east. So this is our prime meridian. So we will go, if we have to go to the east, it means that we will be going to the right side. So when we go to the right side, the first line, this is 20 degree east. This is 20 degree east. So where will we find the intersection? This 40 degree north and 20 degree east. This is the intersection. You see this. So which continent is this? Yes, it's Europe. Now let's see our second address. Which ocean is found at 20 degrees south and 100 degree east? So now 20 degrees south, if we have to go from the equator, so it means we will be going up or down. Yes, for going to south we will be going down. So where is 20 degrees south? This line is 20 degrees south, this, right? So this is 20 degrees south. We can see this red line here. This long line of latitude, 20 degrees south. Now 100 degree east. So for going to east, first we see the prime meridian, and then for going to east, are we going to go to the right side or left side? Yes, we will be going to the right side. So we are going to find 100 degree east. This line is 20 degree. This line is 60 degree. This line is 100 degree. So 100 degree east and 20 degrees south. Now you see, this is 100 degree and this is 20 degree. This is the intersection. This line and this line, they meet here. So this is the intersection. So which ocean is this? Yes, it's Indian Ocean. On this intersection, which ocean do we find? We find the Indian Ocean. So I hope it's clear to you, and the rest of the addresses you can find yourself. Let's move forward. Now, what is GPS? The Global Positioning System. GPS is the Global Positioning System. It is this system is of 24 satellites that all work together to create an exact view of Earth. Using an advanced technology, these satellites compare one location to a grid of numbers and then find a location to a great degree of accuracy. So this GPS nowadays we are using very frequently. What are the uses of GPS? The most common use of GPS is to locate places. Then it allows us to trace and locate a vehicle in case it is stolen. This is the best way to survey positions in the shortest time possible. The project could be mapping of highways, power lines, crops, soil types, rivers, etc. Aircrafts also use GPS in finding their route. So you see, the GPS system It's really very important. Now let's recall what we have learned today. What are coordinates? What is the use of the coordinate system? What is the global positioning system? In what ways it is used? Check your answers. What are coordinates? Latitude and longitude are two coordinates that are used to plot specific locations on the earth. The coordinates refer to the angles which are measured in degrees. What is the use of the coordinate system? A geographical coordinate system enables every location on the earth to be specified by a set of numbers or letters which help us to find any place in the world. What is the global positioning system? The global positioning system, or GPS, is a system of 24 satellites that all work together to create an exact view of Earth. In what ways it is used? The most common use of GPS is to locate places. It allows us to trace and locate a vehicle in case it is stolen. This is the best way to survey positions in the shortest time possible. The projects could be mapping of highways, power lines, crops, soil types, rivers, etc. Aircrafts also use GPS in finding their route.